Papercrafters, welcome to today's crafty question. I'm Joanne Rogers, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Central Alberta, Canada, and I've been designing with you in mind since 1999. So today's question is, can you heat emboss on vellum? And the answer very definitely is, yes you can. So today's card is a Christmas card where I embossed our angel on vellum and then I put it over top of a watercolor background. And that's just one way that you can do it. But I want to give you some tips on what you need to do with your vellum. First of all, you want to make sure that you're using a vellum that is a cardstock. And there is a difference in paper. So this is an old piece of paper that Stampin' Up! Had quite a while ago, and it is actually just very thin and flimsy. And this is the cardstock that we have now. And maybe you can see that it is quite a bit thicker than the paper is. And this is going to give you better results. It's not going to warp. It's going to respond to the heat a little bit easier. The second thing you want to think about is your heat tool. So this is the Stampin' Up! Heat tool right now. And it has two settings. It has a 1 and a 2 setting. So when you're heating on vellum, you want to use setting number 1. It's going to be much friendlier to your vellum and it's not going to cause it to warp. Not as much anyway. It really depends how much you point your gun at your vellum, but it's going to be a little bit gentler on the paper. The other thing you want to think about is that you want to use an anti-static pouch. So we have a pouch that we used to carry, Stampin' Up! Used to carry, called an embossing buddy. And this is just a little bit of powder, maybe some sand rack in there. It's almost got a tiny bit of a grit to it. And you pounce this over top of your vellum first before you stamp on it. And the reason why you want to use one of these is that vellum in particular is plastic and it is got a lot of static on it and it is going to attract all of those little tiny pellets and you're going to have stray little bits of embossing. With your embossing buddy or your anti-static pouch or whatever it is that you use, it's going to stop this from happening at least a little bit. I also have all kinds of tips and tricks on heat embossing, and so you're going to want to check those out in my other video, which I've provided a link for right here, and it's also in the description of this video. So that gives you a few little tips on working with vellum and heat embossing on vellum. If you have a crafty question niggling at you, drop me a line at joe@designwithjoe.ca and let's figure out if we can get the answer for you. And if you're not yet on my mailing list, why not pop on over to www.designwithjoe.ca and get yourself signed up. I share weekly tips and tricks, all kinds of information in the Stampin' Up! World, and I would love to have you join in there too. So thanks very much and have a great paper crafting day. Bye-bye.